Announcements. May 21st, 2020, board meeting, 6:30 p.m. Most likely it will be virtual again. And the next item is board member comments. And we will start with Mrs. Gundrum.
My only real comments are that I appreciate all the work that has gone into trying to put a graduation program together for the seniors. My niece is in another school district, but she's a senior this year, and I know she's been very upset that she's missing out on a lot of the traditional pastimes that seniors have. So I appreciate everything that the school administrators are doing to try to make this as special as they can, given our current circumstances.
Thank you, Mrs. Gundrum. Mrs. O'Neill?
Yes, I would definitely second that. It's so kind of sad and depressing to look at our announcement section that normally has a list of all the exciting things, especially at this time of the year, that it's like senior awards and senior this, and normally that section would probably take us to a whole nother page. And tonight it's one line item, which unfortunately speaks volumes. So that's kind of a depressing note. But I do want to thank everyone who has worked to help make a graduation ceremony for the seniors. They're so deserving. And I do have a senior, and I think until you have a senior, you don't realize how much it stinks to have those moments ripped away. And so I just thank everybody and anybody who has helped to try to create some normalcy and some celebration there. So thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. O'Neill. Mrs. Shorter.
Yes, I want to just echo everybody's comments. I am very grateful for what you guys are trying to do to give the seniors some sense of normalcy. It's really hard. It's very difficult to miss out on so much. And we understand the reasons why, but it's still hard because it's been such an honored tradition, and we look forward to it. Graduation is absolutely my favorite thing, my favorite activity, responsibility as a board member. I love being able to be there to greet the kids as they're coming onto the stage and sending them on to the next level. And it really, it really has a deep impact to not have that, particularly when you have a senior yourself. And I just want everyone to understand that that which does not kill us makes us stronger. And so there's a lot of character building that comes out of this. We're going to be stronger for it in the future. All of this will probably change some of the things that we do from here on now until when. But I'm just very grateful that everyone is trying to make this as best as we can for our seniors and for the community. Thanks for all of the hard work. I enjoyed the presentation about our food program. That was pretty interesting to hear that there are meals that our kids really like if they're standing in line to get the Alfredo. I like that. That's neat. I mean, it's a small thing, but it's an important thing that our kids are being fed well. Just thanks to everyone for all the work that they've done in difficult circumstances. Stay safe and sound.
Thank you, Mrs. Shorter. Mr. Begley.
Thank you. I think Mrs. Shorter hit on it. You know, really one of the rewards, one of the pleasures of serving on the Board of Education is participating in graduation ceremony. And last year it was especially meaningful for me as my daughter graduated, and so I really heard from Mrs. Shorter and Mrs. O'Neill with their children graduating this year and not having those same opportunities to hug them on stage and And so we'll do everything we can, it sounds like, to make it a meaningful celebration for everyone, and I appreciate that. I also want to give a shout out to Mrs. Mott and all the others that were involved in the variety show that happened last week. That was tremendous to watch that together and to see comments being made, and you know what talented students we have. It brought a smile on my face. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Begley. Yeah, I'd like to echo everyone's comments, especially Mr. Begley's comments about feeling bad for Mrs. Shorter and Mrs. O'Neill. I know one of the greatest joys I've had was handing my children their diplomas and up on stage in front of everybody. And you most likely will be missing out on that this year. But know that the whole school district is behind you and behind all the parents and the seniors. Also, would be remiss if I don't comment on the big loss of this school district is going to incur at the end of June with the loss of Mr. Madden. He's had a tremendous impact on the everyday and every school day life of our students here in Fairfield City Schools. He's worked tirelessly. He's worked hand in hand with Mr. Smith on many projects. He's answered emails, answered phone calls, and just have done so much for our school district. I've gotten to know him over the past 7 years, and I know I will miss him tremendously. And but I know he'll still be around the district, just not in an employment stance. But and I know his heart is still here in Fairfield. And one of my most fond memories of him is when he participated in the Dancing with the Core Leaders fundraiser, and what's a great sport he was during that show. And I want to thank you, Jeff, for all that you've done for every student of Fairfield City Schools, and the best of luck to you at Beaver Creek. And please tell Mr. Otten to quit taking our good quality staff from us. Okay, with that being said, at this time, there is a need to recess into executive session to discuss the employment and compensation of public employees, Ohio Revised Code 121.22G1. Is there a motion to recess into executive session?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Second?
Any comments or questions from the board? There will be, I don't anticipate any action to happen after executive session. Mrs. Lane, will you call the roll, please?
Mrs. O'Neill,
Yes.
Mr. Begley,
Yes.
Mr. Birding,
Yes.
Ms. Gundrum,
Yes.
Mrs. Shorter.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes. We convene executive session at 8:29 p.m. Thank you.